Mara Shorr from Shorr Solutions, and this is my partner in crime, my partner in business, and my father, Jay Shorr, founder of Shorr Solutions, and we are a nationally award-winning, recognized practice management consulting company, and we work with practices just like you all over the country. We specialize in cosmetic and aesthetic practices, and we are here today to talk about some of the most important things that go on in the practice, the need for processes, the need for protocols. So, Jay, what was the number one thing you found that practices weren't doing when you first started our company?
Well, having been a partner in a major dermatology, cosmetic, facial body plastic, cosmetic plastic oncology practice here in South Florida, what I noticed is that most practices had a lack of clear, concise, and consistent protocols. They didn't have any standard operating procedures. They didn't have a way to go about what they have to go through every single day.
Right.
They didn't have a playbook, as I call it. And even when you look at a quarterback in a huddle and he looks at his wrist, that's a playbook. And what happens is plays may be thrown in from the sideline, but if you don't have an employee manual or a business plan that speaks about operational, administrative, financial, health, and goals, because when you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And what we do is help practices all throughout the country in the derm, cosmetic, and plastic surgery world in helping to create those processes so that you can do these clear, concise, and consistent.
And this has been something we've been helping practices with since 2010, 2011, when we first started the company as a tiny little side hustle when you first started it.
Right.
And we're really, really grateful. One of the things we worked on this past year is pulling together all of those processes and protocols into a downloadable toolkit. And so at this point we have, close to 200 at this point, processes, protocols, consents, templates, marketing calendars, budgeting spreadsheets that in our company, we've been creating for several years for our clients. So we're now putting them to use. And I would say on a regular basis, because you and I both share client work along with the rest of our team, and on a regular basis, how many protocols would you say that we create for our clients every month?
Dozens, literally dozens.
Right.
Because we create them either for the surgical team about what goes on in a AAAHC operating room, a Quad A SF operating room, state accredited operating rooms, or JCO. And what happens, whether they're operating, which is office-based, or if they're accredited surgery centers where they can actually bill it out insurance as well, they need forms that, whether it's for preoperative nursing and intraoperative for the surgical tech or the circulating nurse, and even going from post-surgical into PACU, and then post-discharge, whether it starts even in the operating room from a timeout to the telephone call after the surgery. Many of these practices don't have these forms, and they say, can you help us do it? And I say, why recreate the wheel?
Of course, the answer is always yes. We are always happy to help them create it.
I very rarely say no to anything. If I don't have it, you can count on Shorr Solutions, because we have more than one solution. And
we are
what
your
we'll
Shorr
do
solution.
is we'll create it. But the value of the toolkit that we've just launched is that we allow you to take them in its rawest form, where we can actually create them and you can customize them.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of it, because you can have your policies, procedures, your protocols, whether it's from HR, whether it's for admin, whether it's for marketing, whether it's for sales retention, whether it's for website conversion.
Photo consents, social media checklists, social media consents. I mean, all of these things that we are seeing that our clients need every single day in their practice.
One of the things, we do a lot of hiring for practices, and they don't have the proper types of paperwork even when doing a hire. For example, many people don't even know that you have to have a formal application of employment, even if you don't hire somebody, which has to have an emergency contact on it. So in the event you do hire them, you know who to contact in the event of an emergency. And then there are authorizations that the prospective employee has to sign off on. If you're going to do a criminal background check, for example, several states have different laws and regulatory issues. So We have all of these forms from the consent to the authorization, and then afterwards, even the federal government forms like the Department of Homeland Security. You have your I-9 for immigration, you have your IRS W-4 for your payroll deductions and how much they are. It is your direct deposit checking account forms. Why recreate the wheel?
Yes.
You know, we've got that solution for you, but it's more than just that. It's having things, like I said before, clear, concise, and consistent manner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that we're seeing again and again things that practices are spending so much more time on when they have to recreate the wheel. And so why do that? Why go through that? We always say we want to do one of two things with all of our clients. We want to save time, or we want to save money. Those are the two biggest pain points, wouldn't you say?
Yes, because
of
of all the wonderful things you do. For example, we share a lot of clients with Incredible Marketing, for example. And with that, what you can expect companies like Incredible Marketing to do is to make your phone ring. They're not going to sell the procedure for you. They've done the job in the first stages of the conversion cascade, from your marketing to your awareness to get that phone to ring. Now it really is up to the practice to be able to get that phone once they ring, to get them in for the consult. Once they're in for the consult, we have to convert them to a procedure, and from the procedure to a retreatment, and then just tally up the revenue. But what happens when you don't sell that procedure?
You're losing. You're losing it out.
You're losing.
Exactly. You've spent all of this money on your marketing efforts and all of this time on your marketing efforts, and you let a call just slip through the cracks.
Who is the checking the checker? All right. Some practices say to me, you know, and they're very fortunate, these practices, that they have more consults and leads that come in that they don't have time to check on the no buys, the ones that came in and didn't purchase. So they just could focus on the new leads. But for your smaller practices who have not had the opportunity to close that, who is working on converting those leads?
Right.
And when you work with practice management consultants, whether it's Mara or I or anybody else, you have to have somebody that is watching your people.
Sure.
And if it's not you, then who? If it's not now, then when?
So that was just a little bit about why we've seen that processes, protocols are so incredibly important in your practice. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we will be back another time with more information. So
Let me leave you with one final thought. Mara mentioned about the increases of revenue, and that's what teams like Incredible Marketing help you do. But you know, if every dollar that you bring in your door, if you're lucky, 20 to 35 cents of that dollar is what's profit. Find a team, consulting company out there, or somebody in your office that can help you reduce expenses, because every dollar that you reduce in expenses is a pure 100% margin dollar. Count on teams like Incredible Marketing to help you increase the revenue. Count on Shorr Solutions, because we have more than one to help you reduce expense.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
See you on our next podcast.